What would you do if a self-proclaimed advocate for body positivity constantly shamed your body? In today's story, the protagonist's choice is a masterclass in how to handle it. I'm currently navigating the bustling, part-time world of a university campus restaurant, a place where the aroma of fried food perpetually clings to your clothes. My shifts often align with a particular coworker, whom I'll call Maya, a staunch proponent of the body positivity movement. She genuinely embodies its spirit, embracing her own body type and frequently populating her social media with uplifting quotes and empowering images. And to be clear, I have absolutely no issue with this. I wholeheartedly believe in accepting and respecting everyone, regardless of their physique. My personal philosophy, however, carries an important caveat. I believe in striving for health, through proper nutrition, regular exercise, and mental well-being, or at the very least, making an honest effort towards it. My support for body positivity doesn't extend to those who use it as a convenient shield to justify behaviors that are undeniably unhealthy and self-damaging. This is where Maya and I diverge, often quite dramatically. Despite her vocal support for body positivity, Maya has a peculiar habit of regularly scrutinizing and commenting on my body type. For instance, I always bring my own meals to work, primarily because the restaurant's menu leans heavily towards the unhealthy, burgers, fries, and an abundance of other deep-fried options. Maya, upon seeing my packed lunch, would often chime in with remarks like, "You should really try a burger. You could use a few extra pounds, honey," or, with a faint concern, "You look skinnier than last week. I told you to stop eating salads every day, haha." She'd even pull me aside privately, her voice hushed with what she presented as worry, asking if I was struggling with my weight, before promptly declaring that I looked way too skinny to be healthy. One particularly egregious instance stands out. I was changing into my work shirt in the back, and Maya, catching a glimpse of my stomach, casually remarked that it was starting to look like a man's. I honestly had no idea what that even meant, but I was certain it wasn't intended as a compliment. These hypocritical comments began to grate on my nerves. I genuinely enjoy maintaining a healthy lifestyle, cooking my own nutritious meals, and staying active to keep toned. Maya, on the other hand, would consistently gorge herself on the greasy restaurant food, consume about 3 cans of soda per shift, and openly admit to never exercising. It was clear to me that this was not a healthy approach. Maya's consistent mean-spiritedness had been a slow burn, pushing me closer and closer to a breaking point. And this reveals Maya's greatest fatal flaw, her self-righteousness, which ultimately sealed her fate. Then came yesterday's shift, the final straw. A guy I'd been somewhat interested in walked into the restaurant to grab some food, and I was genuinely thrilled to see him. The interaction, however, was a bit underwhelming. He was rather cold towards me, and the whole exchange felt anticlimactic. Oh well, I thought, trying to shrug it off, but Maya had witnessed the entire, awkward encounter, and as soon as he left, she delivered the crushing blow. "Maybe he's into caviar girls." That was it. I absolutely erupted. All the pent-up frustration, all the simmering anger at her constant, unwarranted comments, boiled over. I immediately called her out on her blatant hypocrisy. "How?" I demanded, my voice trembling with indignation. "Can you possibly call yourself a supporter of body positivity when you constantly shame my body?" I didn't stop there. The words flowed out, fueled by months of annoyance. I told her, unequivocally, that she was unhealthy in so many ways, specifically pointing out her abysmal eating habits. I then called her bitter and jealous of people who actually took control of their health and their bodies. And finally, I told her she was utterly deluded for believing that she was healthy and fit. Maya, her face contorted in disbelief and anger, immediately retaliated, calling me insecure and a rude bitch. Our shift was nearing its end, so I simply clocked out early and left, unwilling to prolong the argument. I was seething for a while afterward, and recounted the entire incident to one of my closest friends. She listened patiently and then, to my surprise, agreed that while I was right about Maya's hypocrisy, my delivery had been insensitive, suggesting I should apologize. I'm standing my ground on this one. Frankly, Maya had been relentless, pushing and pushing until I finally snapped. And as one Redditor wisely put it, if she didn't want shit thrown back at her about her body, maybe she shouldn't have badgered you about yours. Another commenter echoed this sentiment, stating, I was expecting this to be an everyone sucks situation. But she really crossed the line many times before you said anything. She deserves it. My comments, though harsh, felt entirely deserved given her sustained aggression. The core lesson here is simple: respect is a two-way street. If you dish it out, be prepared to take it. What are your thoughts? When is it okay to stand your ground, even if it means being perceived as rude?